I'm so excited to share the power of stenciling. We're going to create this card using a variety of new Brutus Monroe products. We will start with the Sylvie stencil, Gold Star foil transfer sheets, random dot stencil, and the new quote bubble foilable stickers, which has some nice common sentiments. Let's get this crafty party started. I'm securing my Not Your Mama's cardstock to my glass mat using a piece of purple tape. This ensures the paper doesn't move as I'm applying pressure blending. I'm pulling out the Sylvie stencil. There are 3 layers, and I'm going to begin stenciling the center of the flowers. I'm positioning the stencil over a piece of cardstock, and in the top right-hand corner is a small square. This helps you line up your stencil perfectly. I used a pencil to outline the square. Once I have the stencil secure, I'm using sticky notes to outline the top edge where I will be stenciling. And I'm really doing this to ensure I don't accidentally hit the edges of the cardstock with ink. Yes, blending can get messy, and I've been known to make that happen a time or two and have to start my projects over or cut them down. So I'm trying to prevent that from happening. I'm using Catherine Pooler inks. I'm starting with a light yellow and then a darker yellow to ink blend. So I'm going to start by smushing the ink onto my glass mat and adding a drop of the Pajama Crafter Stamps blending solution. If you haven't tried this, you must. It gets you a perfect blend every single time. So I'm blending the center, and I'm liking how I'm seeing the shading along the sides of the center of the flower. Nice richness and color. Next, I'm adding layer number 2, which is the actual flower. You can see I use the squares to perfectly line up the stencil. I'm securing the stencil with purple tape and adding my post-it notes around the edges again. Again, ensuring that I don't make a mess. So you'll see me do this process several times as I'm working through each layer of the stencil. I decided to go with a purple flower. Again, I'm using light to dark. I'm really focusing on shadowing portions of the flower. I want the person to be able to see that 2 different colors were used, and I'm working my way around the flower again using that smushed ink. I'm liking what I'm seeing thus far. You can definitely see the depth and the shading in the flower, which was my ultimate goal. So as you can see, as I continue to do my ink blending, I'm going to be ready for the next step. I wanted the flower to have a pattern on it opposed to being a plain purple flower. I went through my stencils and struggled with finding the right one. I decided on the random dot stencil. I'm looking at the coverage and deciding which way I want the design to lay on the flower, large versus small dots. I'm going to go ahead and adhere the stencil directly over the flowers. Don't stop it, go. Let's secure this. Okay, seriously. Do you think I have it secured enough? No stencil shifting. I'm using Raven detailed ink to ink blend. And again, I have this stencil right on top of my flowers. I'm excited. Oh, we're about to do the big reveal. And so far, I'm loving what I see. It's sort of like wonky cute. Is that a term, wonky cute? If not, I just made that up. All right, so next we're going to go ahead and move on to the stems of the flower. I'm lining up my stencil. I'm adhering it with the purple tape. And again, following all the same steps that you've already seen. This is 3 times the charm. Ink smushing on the glass mat. I'm using some green Catherine Pooler ink. And I am going to blend out these stems. And this is just working perfect. So now I'm removing my stencil and I'm going to go ahead and run this through my Vagabond to cut out a rectangle. Oh, please, cutting in progress. Oh my, I have a brown mark on the stem from my cutting plate. This is the reality of card making. Sometimes things happen. So I'm working on doing some surgery. I grabbed my eraser, didn't work. I grabbed my sand eraser, and it's working. The mark is slowly disappearing as well as the ink, which means we'll have to embark on a second phase of surgery. I'm determined to fix this. I've come way too far to start over, and things just happen in creating cards. You're seeing my reality. So it's time to line that stencil back up. The great thing is I didn't totally erase the square in the right corner, so easy peasy. I'm adhering that stencil and you can see me ink blending. And I started by going over the area where the color was removed. And then as I looked at it, I said to myself, go ahead and do some of the other areas of the stem so it doesn't look like I did one spot. So there's still a cohesiveness throughout the stems. And right now I feel like I'm winning. I'm totally pleased with the recovery and the fact that I found a way to fix this. All right. I'm loving it. So next up, we're going to do some foiling. I have my Word Bubble foilable sticker and a piece of gold star foil ready to go. I forgot one thing. I gotta turn on my fuse. So while it heats up, we're gonna go ahead and move forward and do a few things that we can get done while we're preparing this machine. I cut a piece of heather cardstock to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I am adhering that to my card base. Last minute, I decided I wanted to give the card a little dimension, so I'm adding 3D foam tape behind the stencil background, and I'm going to adhere that to the card base. All right, I'm looking over to the left. I see the green light, which means the fuse is ready to go. I place the sentiment layered with the gold foil and the plastic sheet, and I'm running that through the fuse. I gotta say I love my fuse. This was a new crafty ad, and it was so worth it. All right, so this is now done. I'm gonna pull off the foil. Ooh-wee, look how pretty that is. And I will keep the negative to use for another project. So again, this is a sticker. I am going to position it on the card. And I will say that I like that the stencil image is rather large. It makes it pretty easy when I'm looking at placement and where I want to actually put this sentiment. It is translucent. You can probably see that. So when I'm adding it to the card base, you can't even really tell that I use a sticker, which I think is pretty cool. I'm adding a few embellishments using the smile cutting die. I'm trying to decide if I want to use black or purple hearts, and ultimately I decided on the purple hearts. I really like this die set. You can cut out paper hearts and large and small sequins. It makes it really easy to coordinate papers and colors, and it's tons of fun. So now you see me adhering my hearts to the card base with barely art glue. I love how this card has come out. It is coming to life. An easy card to mass produce. And quick, simple, and cute. So thank you for stopping by. Push that thumbs up, that bell notification, subscribe, and comment. See you next time.